What did you get accomplished during the open week?
We got to clean up a lot of things, with a young offense like this. We got to go back and really rep some fundamentals and technique and, get a lot of things cleaned up.
What with Lamar? How Coach talked yesterday about keep progressing in the passing game and keep learning more. How much does a guy like that get better when you have a week just to practice and not a game?
Well, a lot, because there's not the pressure of installation for a game. You're really just installing for practice, and you can go back and run some base. We did half line skelly, just some half line, training camp type drills, and I think he got a lot better at his technique, his drops, his sets, understanding where the ball should be placed. Getting his body on line when he's making throws. So I think he got a lot better last week.
How much of the offense does he know now?
Enough. Hopefully, he better know the game plan. That's all he needs to know is the game plan.
How much more will it kind of help you guys when he gets more comfortable working under center and handing off to the running back and things like that?
It'd help a lot.
I mean, like, in what ways? Is that something that you've noticed I know he does it some, but you've been bringing Reggie in some of those instances.
Yeah, well, what you do is you just let kids do what they do best, and, what he's comfortable with, is being back there in the gun. But he's been under the center. He can play under the center. There's no problem. It's just that at that moment in the game the other day, what we needed to do at that point was to put Reggie in because Reggie knew what to do in that situation. Had a little bit more experience. That's why, that happened the way it did. But Lamar can play under the center. He's not, bad at all. He understands how to do it.
What's it like having the tomahawk chop played during your practices?
Well, we're just, we always, when we play on the road, we're going to have, different crowd noise to force the quarterback to have, nonverbal communication with the receivers. They can't hear any of the signals, or the coaches when they're yelling out the plays. They have to really focus on, nonverbal communication. So we just try to, anytime we're going on the road to play, we just try to make it a distraction, make it loud on the practice field. I think most teams do that nowadays.
How well did he do at NC State?
Lamar?
Yeah, with that.
He did a pretty good job. We really thought, I think the weather had something to do with their crowd, but we really were told that was a hostile place to play, that if the weather was nice, that place can really get loud. So we had a lot of preparation for, that type of environment. We had signal meetings the night before to make sure everyone knew what was going on because we just said you're probably not going to be able to hear anything. So it was a good, test run for what we're going into this weekend.
You've got so many young guys on that offense right now. How are they growing? Is it one of those things you see them growing every day, and what are they growing most in?
I just think understanding how to practice, how to prepare. These practices are different. The level of intensity is different. Just the preparation for a huge game like this is different. For a quarterback, when you're not the starting quarterback, you can study video, you got time to go to class, go to study hall. But when you become the starting quarterback and you're playing a huge game, you got to spend time with the media. So that time comes from somewhere. So you really got to be good at, managing your time and understanding where to keep preparing and where your preparation is going to come from.
Along those lines, you talked about signals, and not to give away trade secret, but that's one of the most difficult things, isn't it? For a young team not to make mistakes when you're in a hostile environment. You're having to use signals and things like that.
Well, that's the key to any team playing on the road. You know what I mean? Just dealing with the environment. That's what home, field advantage is about. We have it in our place when another team comes in here. That communicating with the offensive line, the cadence has to be consistent so you don't jump off sides. Just your level of focus has to be higher, when you're playing on the road.
Young guys did good job at receiver, but to have Jamari back, how much did that help and will that help moving forward?
Oh, it's going to help a lot. Jamari, he understands what we're doing. Jamari is a leader. He has the ability to push the other guys, and he's an extreme weapon. He's been out on the field against major league talent before. So he's not, I don't expect any of them to be nervous, but Jamari's a leader.
Have you ever had this many freshmen starting at one time?
No, not this many. You've had, a few, but, this is an extreme number. But they're doing good. I'm really proud of those kids. They battle. They hang in there in games and battle. They come to practice every day and try to get better. They're going to be really good. We just need it to happen in the next 48 hours.
What do you think of Kenny Thomas's performance in NC State since then?
There's another one. He did a great job for us. He's still learning. Doesn't quite know everything about how to play in a game with just his instincts of knowing when the defensive linemen are coming inside or when they're rushing up the field or when the twist game is coming. It's just what you go through as a true freshman. But he's a big kid. He really hung in there and battled for us, and gave us an opportunity to win a tough road game on the road.
It seems to be speed on speed. Is Lamar fast enough to get the corner against their defense?
Yeah, Lamar's a pretty fast guy. Lamar's pretty fast.
What are your thoughts just on their defense, kind of in general? What's sort of your main takeaways from watching them?
Well, they're very talented. They're good on all three levels. The defensive front, they have those two big guys in the middle that are hard to move, and they teach them to hunker down and not let any inside run happen. Then they got fast guys, defensive ends, and the linebackers are fast guys, and then they play with a lot of secondary guys. They're in nickel most of the game. They have a dime package, so now you put an extra fast guy on the field. So they're always very talented, play real hard, force you to make turnovers or force you not to play your best game. That's what happens. Most of the games we've studied that they have forced the offense not to play very well. So we got to just go down and focus on what we're doing, make sure we're prepared to play our best game. All right, thank you.